students. Today we are going to discuss about the lesson number 5, that is friction. And I think we have briefly learned about the force of friction in our previous chapter, that is force and pressure. So have you ever thought, why does your bicycle stop when brakes are applied? And why does a rolling ball stop after some distance, and why it is difficult for you to walk on a smooth and wet surface? The answer to all these questions are related to friction. So, what is friction? We know that friction is a contact force, and its definition is the force acting along two surfaces in contact which opposes the motion of one body over the other is called the force of friction. For example, we have an object, it is moving in this direction, and the force of friction is applied in its opposite direction. Now, in this chapter we will discuss in detail the factor affecting friction, types of friction, and how friction is beneficial and also sometimes wasteful to us, and ways of increasing and reducing friction. Now, first of all, we will discuss the causes of friction. For example, when we try to move on sandpaper, this is a sandpaper, and you can see that it has very rough surface. When we try to move one sandpaper over the another, this is a sandpaper, these are the sandpaper, and when we try to move these sandpaper over each other, we will find it difficult to move one sandpaper over the other. The movement is not smooth. That is, there is friction due to the interlocking of roughness surface. Surface is rough, and there is interlocking of rough surfaces. In fact, every solid object has a rough surface. The degree of roughness varies from surface to surface. For example, this sandpaper has a very rough surface. This is another flannel cloth which is also rough. Different objects have different degree of roughness. In the case of surface which appears to be smooth to the naked eye, the roughness of the surface can be seen only with the help of microscope in the form of tiny hills and valleys. These tiny hills and valleys are also known as ups and downs. When these up and downs interlock with each other, they opposes the motion of one object or one body over another and give rise to frictional force. You can see it here that suppose it is an object and it has roughness. If we see it with the help of magnifying glass, we will find out that there are many ups and downs. These ups are also known as hills. And the downs. This down is known as a valley. And when these up and down get interlocked with each other, then they oppose the motion of an object. And the force arise is called the frictional force. Now, when a body, say a wooden block, is pulled over another wooden block, these ups and downs present on both the surfaces in contact get interlocked. They get entangled with one another, and this interlocking of two surfaces opposes the motion of one body over another and give rise to frictional force. Let's do another example. Do an activity. For example, rub your hand. What will happen when you rub your hand? You can see that due to friction, the heat is produced. And in winter, you generally rub your hand together to warm them. And friction caused by rubbing your hands together produce heat. Thus, we can also say that the friction is force that opposes motion and produce heat. Remember, it also produces heat. Motion, it opposes motion and produce heat. Now, factor affecting friction. What are the factors that affecting the friction? The force of friction generally depends upon the following factors. The nature of the surface in contact with each other. Means if the surface is rough, for example, these sandpapers have very rough surface, then if we try to move one sandpaper over the another, we can't move it easily. It means more will be the friction. If I am moving the sandpaper in this direction, then the force of friction is applied on its opposite direction. So, rough surface, more friction. Smooth surface, less friction. And the second thing is that the weight of the body. More the weight of an object, more will be the friction. Lesser the weight, lesser will be the friction. So to see the effect of friction on different objects, let's perform an activity. So to perform this activity, we require a sheet of plain paper. We have a sheet of plain paper, a handkerchief, a piece of wood or cardboard and a pencil. Now, first of all, we have to place this object like this. I am going to place this object here. Now, push a pencil on each surface and let it roll. First of all, I am going to roll the pen on a piece of paper. Then I am going to roll it over the wooden. You can see that it will cover maximum distance in this case. And now when we push a pencil on the surface of handkerchief, then what will happen? It will cover minimum distance. The pencil will roll the maximum distance where friction is least. It means friction is least on the cardboard surface among these three surfaces. And the minimum distance where friction is maximum. Minimum friction happen in case of handkerchief. So we can conclude it that friction is more on rough surface and less on smooth surfaces. So in our next video, we will discuss about the types of friction. So there are home assignment for you. What is friction? Is frictional force a contact force? Is the friction same for all the surfaces? What is the cause of friction? And fifth question is friction depends on what factors? Thank you.